You've found the Rebirth Podcast. Here we talk about the art, the craft of letting go and letting life lead. I'm Kate Breton, the creator here. We are in season 8. I don't know, that feels like kind of a big number, you know? It feels like this might be the season that births rebirth, on a whole new level. Because of people like you. We have grown in the markets, the international market of listeners. And I find that absolutely amazing. So anyway, this episode, let me talk to you a little bit about what we're going to be doing with season 8. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about coaching and classes and this idea that this season we're going to delve into even more the internal realms, the art of intuition, because it's easy to let go when you know how to listen to yourself. Did you know Rebirth is also a book? You can order it online or at any of your local favorite bookstores. Let me know how you find it. If you're curious about the Listen to Her sessions, they're specifically designed for intuitive clarity to arrive and resound over your daily noise and doubt. They gift you with available insight and inspired action, personally and professionally, uplifting your daily reality and collective frequency, because that's what magnetism does. If you're curious, go to katebreton.com where you can learn more. Now let's get back to the episode. When this podcast started, it was an answer to a major transition of life, right? I had been a single person and then I became a mother. And although this podcast is not particular only to parents, it does delve into the feminine experience, because in the intention and the birth of this podcast was learning to access and resource a power of surrender. I don't feel, all right, let me speak in the positive. I feel both polarities are part of the human existence. The more I talk to women that are entering into the middle path, I like that better than middle age, the middle of their path, it seems that we are being called to the task of surrendering and accepting our brilliance, our worth, our charisma. Earlier, for a lot of people, that charisma and brilliance is reflected from the outside in, and we're celebrated. But as you go further along, it's magnetized from the inside out. And I think the best case scenario is that we're raising humans that know that that's really the ultimate way to be living, different phases, different reasons, but that conceiving an ideology or an energy inside then allows it to project out and create the reality, the life, the world you want to be living in. So this season 8, if you turn 8 on the side, has that infinity motion, right? And the idea that we have infinite potentials inside of us. So let us be mindful and discerning about what potential we place our effort on. I was recently talking to a woman who said, I'm at a point in my life and I just called myself out and said, is this it? If you're finding yourself asking those questions, even if everything's going well and you're still wondering, what's tugging at my heart? You found the right podcast. This season, as we talk about letting go and letting life lead, we're going to be introducing this concept that keeps whispering at my heart, I guess is the way to say it, is listen to her. Listen to her, listen to her. Capital H. I call my coaching sessions Listen to Her. Coaching just because it's a vernacular that we use now for seeking guidance. I was first an educator, and my archetype is an educator. And I realized that we have all this wisdom and we know we do, but we don't have the space and listen to her. But when we unburden ourselves of our doubts and we create a rhythm of tuning in and the space to listen and the belief of our worth, we can hear her. And when we can hear her and we get to know that voice, it is so much easier to let go and let her lead. So those are my contemplations for season 8. I kind of dropped off at season 7. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't a plan, I'll be honest with you. I traveled, summer came, and I know summer isn't really my time for external production. But I had to listen to her. I wanted to produce, and then I surrendered and I realized this is just not the time. And then all of a sudden, giving that fallow season, which is the polarity, right? Because I gave my fallow season in summer. So the fruiting was internally to me, and it was my life and all these things I'm reaping and enjoying in a season that I love. August came, and just this click of reality, of clarity, of where the Rebirth podcast is headed and where my work is turning towards. And it's just in bare bones, it's reigniting the spiritual life of women. That's what I'm here to do. Through inspiration, through healing work, through teaching, through my courses or my classes, I'm here to reignite your spiritual life, to remind you that there is an infinite potential inside of you, and we really need you to listen to her. So I'm so glad you're here. If you're a new listener, if you've been here for a while, season 8, thank you for making the time and bringing me into your kitchen or your car or your dog walk. And let's do ourselves a favor and let's uplift each other. If something in this podcast inspires you to take an action, go do it. We'll be cheering you on. You want to let us know? Tag the Rebirth Podcast on social media, or find me on the Instagram. I'm at Kate M. Breton on Instagram. Share it with me. We are being fed a connectivity of social media. Let's make it be the potential and the upliftment and the community that we want informing our decisions, and we want activating our neurology. Let's purposefully and intentionally uplift each other. All right. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to sharing this time with you in season 8. Thank you so much for being here on the Rebirth Podcast. Where would we be without you? Do us a favor, share, like, subscribe, and if you're feeling especially generous and you really want this to be the kind of messaging that is all over social media, one of positivity and upliftment, give us a 5-star review wherever you enjoy listening to the Rebirth Podcast.